Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakarishu Sarvadam Ganganapate Namaha. Shri Sadguru Bhyo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 11th of February 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, residing in the heart of every single being. We're continuing to examine the glory of the Mandukya Upanishad, verse number 1, where there is this word aksharam that is used, and then there is, this amazing concept that you are beyond time, you are the infinite consciousness. So it is spoken from this enlightened state. To approach this reality, to approach the truth that is actually what we are, many ways have been described. These paths, they're called P-A-T-H, path meaning marga. Marga meaning how to approach the Atma and Brahman. The concept of a path means to take sequential steps that can develop our mental and emotional, the entire inner mind-body connection is enhanced so that there is great vitality and inspiration to travel the spiritual path. Spiritual path means that there is the movement of activity, physical, mental, emotional, in a direction towards a goal. Physical body plus mind and the energy within both of them, both physical and mental, is all moving in one direction predominantly towards one goal. That is called marg, and that is called dheya. Dheya means the destination. Marg means path. Now, there is quite a bit involved in taking a path, because what tends to happen when we take any one path, mantra yoga, dhyan yoga, kriya yoga, bhakti yoga, start going on one path with one type of sadhana, a person usually falls off. They get tired of it. They get sick of it. They get I want some different experience. Most paths have a boundary that to live a certain type of life with certain rules, certain limitations, things like that. There's so many ways that is described. But what tends to happen when a person begins that journey, the desires to do other things prop up. The desires to deviate from that path into something else. And then a person can fall off. Now that would indicate that either that path was not right for that person, or there's a problem in the path itself, or the sadhaka is not understanding the path. There's a difficulty somewhere. And this is what tends to happen in most people. They start some sadhana, start something here and there, and then they fall off. They are just diverted somewhere else. It's not clear why. This is why the word guru is important, because the guru is an internal realization of my own deflection from the goal. But see, like for example, if I use myself as an example, I cannot even know what is deflection until the goal is crystal clear. And usually that's not clear. The goal is not crystal clear, like in this situation with spirituality. If the goal is that we want to evolve into Brahmic consciousness, all right, well, what is that actually? While there's no boundaries left, there's extreme ananda, there is stability, peace, there is no more pulling back and forth of the vasanas. All these descriptions, Kam, Krodh, Lobh are gone, Chadripu are gone, 6 major deficiencies are gone, everything. All that thing is gone. Saintly qualities have come about. All of that ideas, those ideas that we have been talking about every day, that is held as, yes, that is the goal. That is a saintly goal. That is a very noble goal. That is very evolved state. So if Sachin is looking in the mirror and says, am I in that state? Or where am I in all this thing? And is that what I want? Do I want that only? Or do I want something else plus that? Well, how is that possible, wanting something else plus that? If I say that I want purified water, and I also want to mix inside there, a 1 spoonful of mud. I said, now I want to drink purified water. You've spoiled it. This is the problem. So many people in the world say they want God, they want spirituality, they want better life, they want this, they want that. But what we are doing, as the Amrut Bindu Upanishad states, we are contaminating our own spiritual development. Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. We looked at this some years back. Little bit, we looked at it. We're throwing the mud inside the spiritual path. Spiritual path, Adhyatmik Marg, if someone wants that, if it's a big if, it means cleaning up one's life, setting the clear destination, what that destination is. What does it look like? What is needed to reach that? The qualities needed inside the heart, the state of mind that is needed, the scriptural study, the significance of the great sages, their lives, that has to be brought inside. It is the bringing it inside, establishing it inside, and then allowing it to open and reveal its essence from inside. It's a completely internal phenomena. And that will lead to the destination. What is that destination? Realization of the self, of who you already are. It is just realization of that which you already are, which is the Brahman, which is the Atma. These are just words we're using, but it's a effulgent, extraordinary realization. But that realization is only possible when we are very clear about the fluctuation of the antakarana. The internal world is revolving, changing. It's moving from one thing to another. And of course, it is going to do that. That is not going to change. But what we can do, and this is the sadhana for today, we can put a boundary around that revolution. So, for example, I can say, like today is the 11th of February, I can simply say that today, I'm going to have my 3 meals and some snacks. Okay, so that's one boundary. But I'm not going to have 5 snacks or additional things to that. I'm putting a deliberate food boundary. That is the right boundary for me. Okay, that I'm going to have so much physical activity today. That is another boundary. That it's an activity, but there's a boundary there also. And then, so do so much jap today, so much mantra today, at this time, itna paat karna hai, ye sab karna hai. I can pre-decide this in the morning. Before starting the day, what is the day to be like? These are all determinations. These are all activities we have decided to do. This is the fact of life. And if we don't do that, we will be scattered. So to do that with clarity, to say this is what is going to happen, and it is going to happen once Sachin has decided it is going to happen, it is clear, it is lucid, there's no confusion about it, then it is just going to happen no matter what, unless there's an emergency of some kind. And that's the difficult part. This is the difficulty in sadhana, that no matter what, whatever happens, itna hona hi chahiye. Namah Shivaya mantra 1008 times hona hi chahiye, or 108 times hona hi chahiye. At this time, facing east or north, sitting in front of the lingam, or sitting in front of the murti of the Devi, or Bhagwan Krishna, or having a small diya, having the body very clean, tilak karna, or Bhagwan ki thodi, do 2 or 3 bhajans, and then say this is how sadhana works. Now, it doesn't mean you're sitting in front of the temple, in the murti 24 hours a day. No, you do. It's for short periods of time. And then other things, other activity is done. We're doing other things throughout the whole day. All of that other activity is also done where we take the name of the Lord, Om Namo Narayanaya, and then do the activity. Just take one name, Namah Shivaya, and then continue. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaya Viche. One time, offer it. Remember the Paramatma that I'm doing for you. And then once the activity is done, it is offered back to you. No karma is accumulated. Literally, no karma is accumulated. But when karma is done, without that, without remembering Paramatma, then that karma gets accumulated. Then that becomes part of the karmic structure. And then there is the effect of that. There is the result that comes out of that. That karma can be punyam, and on the continuum of the good karmas up to the sinful karmas, the papa karma. So when we offer to Paramatma every karma without any kind of ahankar, it is called nirgun karma. It is beyond pap and punya. It is beyond shubh and ashubh. Shubha ashubha parityagi, as the Gita says. There's no accumulation, and when there's no more accumulation of punyam and papa, one is in that state prepared to realize the Atma Tattva. The lot of good deeds people do, the result is Svargaloka. A Svargaloka is there. It's not some imaginary thing. It is there, definitely. So there are some very good people in the world, but they're not connecting with the Nirgun Brahman, with the Nirgun Tattva that is God, Bhagavan. It's not connecting with Paramatma. And it's not offering there. There's also the Sattvic Ahankar could be there. And even if it is not there, there's still just the Punyam cannot be avoided. Because the only way to avoid the accumulation of Punyam is to have every action connected to Paramatma. That is called state beyond Punyam. And that takes the Jivatma into moksha. If the punyam is accumulated, that is not moksha. That is still up to the Svarga Loka. And the word Kshinya Punya Mritya Loke Vishanti. Gita says, there's a reference. One will drop straight back into Garbhavas again after that. So does it mean we don't do good things? No, it doesn't mean that. It means whatever we do, we offer it to Bhagavan. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya mat paraha. That is called sannyas in the Gita. Sannyas, the way Bhagavad Gita defines sannyas, is where every karma is offered at the feet of God. That's what happened in the case of Arjun. Arjun said, I cannot kill all these people. It was a pap karma to kill all these cousins, and his guru is standing in on the other side, Dronacharya and all that, Bhishma and all. This is the story in the Mahabharata. How am I supposed to do this? But Krishna says, they are on the wrong side. You have to stand up and fight, and you offer everything to me. Krishna reveals himself as the Supreme Lord. He says, I am everything, aham sarvasva. Offer everything to me, and you will not accumulate any pap, punyam, or anything like that. You will be liberated. Your action is liberated action. That is the guidance for all of us. Not that we're to kill some people and all that. That's not the point. That was just a situation at that time. That's a different subject about when to engage in a war or not. There was no choice left at that time. That's why they had to engage in that. But that's a different matter. The point is that when we are performing any action, even right now, Sachin is speaking, That's why why we do 30 minutes, 40 minutes of mantra. The purpose is that we want to connect with Paramatma, have a little nugget of some spiritual ideas from the scriptures and all that, so that they are digested. But in this mind, right from the beginning, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, when we started 7 a.m. every day, everything is you. It is offered to you. At the end, we do the Shama Prarthana, everything is offered to you. Ask for forgiveness, finishes right there. The moment Sachin thinks, I am doing something, the moment thinks, no, this is, that I am, the I is present, that you forget the Lord, it just becomes like, there's some other intention behind. That punyam will accumulate. Then immediately the drop happens from nirgun kriya, that kriya that is beyond the three gunas of Maya, into sattva gun. And then that becomes punyam. Of course, the kriya is sattvic. We do this satsang every day for 1 hour. Is this a sattvic kriya? Yes, but internally for Sachin, it to make it nirgun, it has to be completely offered to the Lord. And there's no holding on to it. This will happen, that will happen. I want this, I want that. This, all that me that is present in the sattva gun, if that is there, then punyam is accumulated. Then Bhagwan gives the fruit of that punyam. And then one has to sometimes be reborn just for that fruit. Because we want that fruit, that's why. You see, so even good actions can cause rebirth. They do cause rebirth. Millions of rebirths are from good actions. So be careful. Of course, good actions, the action is performed which is for the benefit of all, without any sense that I'm doing, and offered all the actions at the feet of God, who is beyond the three gunas of Maya, no problem. Then that is called liberated action. That is called Jivan Mukti. That is called Brahmamaya Kriya, Brahmik Kriya. So this is a very subtle difference, but huge difference. Huge difference. Massive difference. It's सब अंतर की बात है. It's not something externally, nobody would know which state somebody is in. It's an internal phenomena. Then, sukhe dukhe samay kritva. The Gita begins to live inside of us. So equanimity, sita pragnita, koi अच्छा बोले कोई बुरा बोले, मान करे, अपमान करे, कुछ भी करे. संसार में कुछ भी होता है. You are extremely steady. You're beyond the fluctuations of this entire material reality. Material reality is a mechanism. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam yantra vrutte shri brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. It is a yantra, it is a mechanism that has been placed into this world. The world is a mechanism. It is going to continue the way it is. To discover the Ishvara, the Paramatma, around whom this entire flow of existence is continuing to revolve. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam ruddhe shreyajunatishtati. That inside the heart, the Ishvara, Parabrahman, is present in the heart of every being. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam ruddhe shreyajunatishtati. Rudaya. In the heart chakra, this is where the Jivatma exists, as per Shikshapatri also. This is where the Jivatma is. Inside the Jivatma is Paramatma. Is right inside, right where we are. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani maya. Whole Srishti, billions of universes are revolving around the Ishvara Tattva. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra aruda yantra rudhani mayaya. That is the great Maya of Paramatma. And that is the revolution of Prakriti around the Purusha, around the Atma Tattva. All right, so with that, let's stop here for now. And we'll continue on this further tomorrow. Om Divalingaya Namaha, Urdhvalingaya Namaha, Anandalingaya Namaha, Dvadas Jyotirlingaya Namo Namaha, Om Aim Rim Glim Chamundaya Viche Sarva Mangala Mangalle, Shive Sarvartha Sadike, Sharanitrambike Gauri Narayani. नमोस्तुते दुर्गे दुर्गे रक्षिणी ठ स्वाहा. ओम श्री दुर्गार्पणमस्तु. ओम श्री राधा कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. ओम ह्रीं